apparently Democrats are still upset over DOGE cuts, guys. Let's go ahead and see where this is going to take us here. This is a suggestion for your Discord. Let's jump into it.
Creating an unlawful office in DOGE.
Elon Musk and DOGE want to take a chainsaw to the federal budget.
DOGE is nothing but a cover-up. Like, it's a scam. Kind of like...
What's the cover-up for?
For, Elon Musk.
Democrats continuing to rail.
Guys, I'm almost positive that that's kind of like defamation, bro. Just gonna be honest here. It feels like defamation. But I get it. He's a public figure. He has to take it. But that feels a little bit like defamation.
Against Elon Musk and DOGE as Musk takes a step back from that role. The White House says that the effort to slash spending will continue, including the proposal to cut $163 billion in federal spending from the budget. That's about the number that DOGE accumulated going through all of the DEI programs and other things that they said they found were fraudulent and wasteful in the budget. Russell Vogt, director of the Office of Management and Budget, is a driving force behind that effort, and he joins us now. Mr. Vogt, good to have you back on the program. Do you want to respond to those comments from Jasmine Crockett and others who say that this is just, DOGE is a big scam and that it really was designed to make Elon Musk money?
I find it to be totally outrageous, and I think the American people know it's untrue. DOGE has been a paradigm shift in Washington, D.C., and this is one of the most exciting times to be in D.C. in this administration and be fighting on behalf of taxpayers to find waste, abuse, areas where the government is weaponized against the American people. We've put forward a budget that accounts for $160 billion of non-defense cuts while still providing for critical areas of government that we think are important, and yet will allow us to have the lowest non-defense level that we've seen since 2017, getting back to pre-COVID levels. So it's an exciting time, and DOGE has been a partner throughout.
So,
yeah, guys, I've definitely backed DOGE ever since I've heard it. And I definitely think that a lot of other countries should probably start finding out where the money is being wasted, like legitimately on programs that do not benefit all of the people in that country. Guys, we're going to be completely honest here. When it comes to things like this, we absolutely, in fact, need DOGE. DOGE is doing a great job specifically. I would hope that it was more of a scalpel, more so than a sledgehammer, right? Let's just say that, to be honest here, in this context here, so we don't run into like air traffic controller type issues. You get what I'm saying here? But anyway.
The goal was $1 trillion in those cuts. And we talked about this last time about whether or not you are going to be the point person, the lead person on continuing DOGE after Elon Musk spends less time and goes back to focusing more on his own businesses. Will you be that person? And what is your goal for a total number? And when do you think you can reach it?
Look, a lot of editorial writers and news reports, I think, have been over their skis with regard to me being named for DOGE. I'm doing two jobs. That's what I've been given the responsibility to do. One is OMB. It's an opportunity to do it for the second time, and one is the head of the CFPB. But we intend to take the DOGE agenda and the cuts and the momentum and the initiative and turn those into permanent savings. That's what we believe is our responsibility.
Yeah. We're
in the midst of the appropriations process. We got that budget moving forward, and we're in the midst of reconciliation to have significant, over $1.5 trillion in reforms to the welfare safety net to make sure that people are not improperly benefiting from these programs who are ineligible, i.e. they're also illegal aliens, 1.4 million just from the Medicaid program alone, and instituting work requirements in Medicaid in a fundamental way. These are paradigm shifts that we are now doing because of the work that's been done across the administration to put us in this moment.
Well,
Hey guys, keep in mind, we're kind of on a cusp of like a very interesting moment, specifically things that are happening in California with Medicaid and illegal immigrants, okay? So apparently Gavin Newsom is like really interested in making sure that the federal government is not going to start taking illegal immigrants off of government health care, guys, all right? So I definitely think that we're kind of going down the right path here. We absolutely do not need to pay for the health care of people who've never paid into the tax codes, guys, okay? That should never be a thing.
I just think a lot of people want to see that effort continue. I remember Elon Musk saying that, the ship will sink, basically. The United States will not be able to go on, ultimately, with the kind of debt and waste that exists in our government. So who is going to lead the charge after Elon Musk steps a little bit to the side?
Well, I'll let the president make those kinds of announcements in conjunction with Elon. But look, DOGE is at work. They're not going away. They're a partner. I talk to them every single day. We're linked up, and I think the American people can have great confidence that this incredible initiative is moving forward, and we're going to make as much gains in the moment as we possibly can.
Okay. So what do you say to Hakeem Jeffries? We played some sound from him right before we went to the break to introduce you, and he says approximately 14 million people will lose their health insurance, their health coverage. Hospitals will close, nursing homes will shut down. He says this is really a matter of life and death. The cuts that would amount to $625 billion in Medicaid over 10 years. What do you say to him?
It's totally false. And what they do is they do scare tactics, and they've done this throughout history. I mean,
both sides do scare
tactics. In the 1990s, there was welfare reform, and we saw a number of these contrived CBO estimates. And look, when you unpack it, it's people that are not eligible for Medicaid and making sure that we have the opportunity to get those people off of Medicaid. It's people that are illegal aliens.
Which is a fraudulent request for funds, essentially.
Exactly.
Right.
And at the same time, trying to get a handle on the way that states have inappropriately used the system for essentially state-sanctioned fraud or money laundering, where they put taxes on providers to get a larger share from the federal
government.
Cut. And
right.
They use that not just for care for the vulnerable or the disabled. In fact, they go out and use that money to get larger welfare benefits throughout the state. California does this, and they put illegal aliens on federal roll. So we think this money laundering, this state-sanctioned fraud needs to be put an end to. This bill does it, but it's not going to put states in a position where they can't sell.
I can't figure out why Democrats are so upset, Jasmine Crockett as well, about finding wasted money and getting rid of it. It really gives the taxpayer more bang for their buck.
I mean, bro, listen. The Democrats are mad. I'm not saying every single one of these individuals are basically in the pockets of someone else, let's say, but a lot of them are mad because it's a lot of their programs, specifically where I'm guessing, I think even Trump kind of pointed out that there may be some type of kickback type of scenario. But I do also think that Trump actually has a plan for this scenario here. I'm not glazing Trump right now at all, bro. I'm just telling you, he's doing a great job. I didn't think that he was going to do this well. I'm just going to be honest, right? So he has proved me wrong on multiple occasions, actually. But in this context here, it's interesting because I think he knows that there are going to be a lot of people that would be losing a lot of benefits if he did not already put in action, let's say, that we're going to start lowering the cost of medication. Like, if you lower the cost of medication, then immediately the 14 million people, they're not going anywhere, guys. Right? Or not really. I mean, not truthfully. They're going to stay there. How are they going to stay there? Because if you lower the prices from 30 to 80% on medication, guys, I mean, that's the problem, right? It's too expensive. Personally, I think more people should be on that program. Let's be honest here. I'm very fiscally conservative, but socially I'm a little all over the place here, right? I do think that more people should absolutely be on it, because think about this here. If other countries can afford it, we're the richest country in the history of the earth, all right? Why are we still paying for medication and hospital stays, guys? Doesn't make any sense, right? Because it's not the norm anymore on the planet. Most countries take care of that for you, right? So I do think that more people should absolutely be associated to it. Specifically, if we can lower the cost tremendously, I don't see how that could be something that could be denied to us any longer.
If that's pursued and it's successful. I have just one more question. It's a little bit out of your area, but it does have to do with the management of our budget. So the bipartisan infrastructure bill under Biden allocated $25 billion over 5 years to fix the FAA. What happened to that money? Because I heard Sean Duffy, talking about that, but also suggesting that they might need more money at some point. So where's the $25 billion that was supposed to fix the FAA?
Well, look, there is some money remaining, piecemeal funding. Well, in general, what we saw from the Biden administration was they used money never to fix actual problems of the American people, but to push their woke and weaponized agenda in general. But there's money available. What we haven't seen is a sustained, immediate, and focused effort to deal with the air traffic control system that so clearly needs modernization. We've been working with Secretary Duffy to make sure that we have a proposal that they can send up to the Hill. It's being reflected already in the reconciliation bill And we believe this is the time. This is not a president that shirks problems. This is a president who takes them on. And we have a great ambassador on this issue with regard to Secretary Duffy to make sure it gets done.
Well, if you're telling me that $25 billion went to DEI programs and green initiatives, that somebody ought to be held accountable because now the planes can't speak to the people in the towers, and we got a big problem, as you well know. Russell Vogt, thank you very much.
Okay, guys, we're kind of going off the rails, kind of like usually when they're ending a segment, let's say. But overall, I do want to say that I'm absolutely impressed by Doge. I wasn't much of a naysayer in the beginning, specifically kind of regarding that topic. I do think that there is a lot of waste in the government. We waste a lot of money doing a lot of things that are not really excessively beneficial, specifically, let's say, to the American people, right? Like in a time where there's a lot of suffering, there's a lot of printed money that was basically printed that obviously lowered the value of the dollars you had in your bank. Okay, like inflation is still moving, even though they're saying it's not, guys. Your dollar is not a dollar, all right? What you remember as a dollar is no longer a dollar. And that's just the reality of the situation here. I do think that we definitely need to start cutting in a gigantic way. We're spending too much money. We're wasting money on foreign nations that are not benefiting us at all by any means. So, guys, I'm down for it. I'll back Doge to the end until I hear something or read something that I'm absolutely not going to back specifically, right? But as of right now, I don't really see too many issues here, guys, at all. But either way, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.